Accepting what cannot be changed is one of the hardest lessons life will ever teach us. It does not come naturally. We are born wanting to shape things, fix things, influence outcomes, and hold on to what feels familiar. We want people to stay, seasons to remain the same, plans to unfold exactly as we imagine. But life keeps showing us that some things are beyond our hands, beyond our timing, and beyond our control. And in that realization, there is a quiet invitation to soften, to release, and to breathe in a different kind of strength. One that does not come from forcing, but from allowing. To accept what cannot be changed does not mean to stop caring. It does not mean you walk away from responsibility or effort. It simply means you stop fighting battles that have already been decided. You stop pouring your energy into what has already shown you its truth. You stop allowing yourself to be exhausted by what is no longer yours to hold. There is a kind of peace that arrives when you stop trying to rewrite the past or predict every detail of the future. When you learn to stay with what is, even when it is uncomfortable, you begin to discover the depth of your own resilience. Sometimes the things we cannot control are external, the actions of others, the passing of time, unexpected changes, the shifting of circumstances. Other times, what we cannot control is internal. Old wounds rising again, emotions we wish to silence, thoughts that return without permission. Acceptance teaches us to make space for both, to acknowledge them without drowning in them, to let them exist without letting them rule us. You learn to say, "This is here, I see it, I feel it, and I will not let it take my peace." When we resist what we cannot change, we create suffering. We replay conversations that are already over. We try to hold on to people who are already walking away. We build imaginary futures with things that were never meant to stay. The heart becomes tired from carrying what was never meant to be permanent. Acceptance is the moment the heart rests. It is the moment you stop running after answers that have already been given to you through silence, distance, or the passing of time. There is a softness that comes with acceptance, not from weakness, but from understanding. Understanding that timing is not always ours to choose. Understanding that closure does not always come in the way we expect. Understanding that healing happens in layers, not in one dramatic awakening. And above all, understanding that your peace is too precious to be sacrificed to circumstances that refuse to change. Acceptance does not require applause. It does not require anyone else to understand the choice you are making. It is a quiet, internal shift. It is a hand slowly releasing what it once clutched in fear. It is trusting that your life does not end where something else ends. You are not defined by what you lose. You are reshaped by it. Acceptance clears the space for something new to grow, something aligned, something gentle, something real. But that space only opens when you stop forcing what has already shown you that it cannot be controlled. There will be days when you feel the urge to pick up what you have put down. Days when you feel drawn to chase again, explain again, convince again. Those moments are invitations to return to stillness, to remember that peace is a practice, not a destination. You choose it again and again, especially on the days when it feels hardest. Acceptance is not a single moment of clarity. It is a daily choice to stop wrestling with what has already unfolded the way it was meant to. It is the courage to let life move, even when the movement feels unfamiliar. It is the grace of knowing that not everything broken is meant to be repaired. Not everyone who leaves is meant to come back, and not every ending is a loss. Strength lies in gentle surrender, though most of us are taught the opposite. We grow up hearing that strength is loud, forceful, unshakable. That to be strong is to never bend, never break, never show softness, never let anything or anyone see that something touches our heart. But real strength has never been about how tightly we hold on. Real strength reveals itself in the willingness to release, to let go, to loosen the grip that fear has wrapped around our hands. Gentle surrender is not a collapse, not an act of defeat, and not a sign of weakness. It is the quiet declaration: I trust life. I trust myself. I trust what is meant for me will remain, and what is no longer aligned will fade. There are days when holding on feels like the only option. We grip memories, relationships, expectations, and identities we built long ago. Sometimes we hold on to pain simply because it's familiar. We think letting go means losing. But gentle surrender is not about loss, it is about making space. It is about creating room within yourself for peace to breathe, for clarity to settle, for new beginnings to slowly unfold. When you surrender, you are not giving up. You are giving into the natural rhythm of life. You are no longer pushing against a current that has already chosen its direction. Gentle surrender teaches patience. It teaches trust. It teaches the art of allowing. There is power in saying, I do not need to force what is already trying to leave. Those words are not spoken with bitterness, but with understanding. Everything in life has its season. Some people come to teach you love. Some come to teach you strength. Some come to teach you how to walk away. And when the season changes, gentle surrender allows you to release the story without clinging to the old chapters. To surrender is to honor what was while making space for what will be. Strength in surrender is the strength to sit with uncertainty, to not know the outcome and still move with grace. It is the strength to feel everything fully without trying to numb, escape, or control it. When we allow ourselves to feel without resistance, the emotion passes through us instead of burying itself inside us. To surrender is to trust that pain will soften, that clarity will come, that life will rearrange itself in ways you cannot yet see. You are not asked to understand the entire journey. You are only asked to take the next gentle breath. There is a softness to surrender that many overlook. Softness is not fragility. Softness is openness. It is the ability to bend without breaking, to adapt without losing your essence, to love even after being hurt, to try again even after disappointment has knocked on your door more than once. The world may tell you to harden, to close off, to be unbreakable, but the heart that remains open is the strongest of all. To surrender is to trust that your heart can open again, that your spirit can rise again, that your story can transform in ways you could not have written yourself. Surrender also means releasing the need to be right, releasing the need to control someone else's choices, releasing the desire to force the world into your expectations. You cannot make someone love deeper. You cannot make life move faster. You cannot demand answers before their time. Strength is choosing peace over the urge to control. Strength is learning to respond rather than react. Strength is allowing conversations to end when they have reached their truth. Strength is sitting with silence without trying to fill it. Gentle surrender does not mean you do not care. It means you care without clinging. It means you love without trying to possess. It means you show up without needing to shape the outcome. It means you trust that what aligns with your spirit will never require you to chase, convince, or beg. What is meant for you will meet you where you stand. Surrender simply clears the space for it to arrive. We are often told that power is loud, but power can also be quiet. A quiet that is steady. A quiet that is grounded, a quiet that does not need validation. Gentle surrender is the quiet strength of knowing who you are, even when everything around you is shifting. It is the soft courage of letting life unfold rather than trying to control every direction it takes. It is the inner wisdom that whispers, I will not lose myself in the process of holding on to what is not meant for me. Protecting your inner peace as a sacred space is an act of deep self-respect. It is recognizing that your mind, your heart, your emotional landscape are not open grounds for just anyone or anything to enter. Your inner world is where your strength lives, where your healing forms, where your clarity rises. It is the quiet place within you that holds your truth, your softness, your courage. To protect it means learning what deserves your attention and what does not. It means understanding that not every voice needs to be heard, not every situation needs your reaction, not every invitation deserves your presence. There are people who speak loudly but carry no wisdom. There are situations that look urgent but hold no real value. There are emotions that come from fear rather than truth. When you protect your inner peace, you begin to see these things clearly. You begin to feel the difference between what nurtures your spirit and what drains it. You learn to guard your energy the same way you protect your physical body from harm. Peace is not accidental. Peace is intentional. It is formed by the choices you make every day. What you allow, what you entertain, what you respond to, what you let go. Your inner peace is sacred because it shapes the way you experience the world. When your peace is stable, you move with clarity. Your decisions come from calm rather than panic. Your words carry gentleness rather than defense. Your heart remains open without being unguarded. But when your inner peace is disturbed, life feels heavier. Small problems feel overwhelming. Simple interactions feel draining. You begin to react instead of respond. You begin to carry burdens that are not yours to carry. Protecting your peace is not selfish. It is necessary for your emotional survival. There will always be noise around you. Opinions, expectations, pressures, comparisons, judgments. The world moves fast and often tries to pull you along with it. But your peace is found in slowing down, in choosing silence when things feel loud, in stepping back when things feel invasive, in choosing not to attend every argument you are invited to. Not every conflict needs your participation. Not every misunderstanding requires your clarification. Sometimes peace is choosing to say less. Sometimes peace is choosing to say nothing at all. Protecting your peace also means creating boundaries. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out. They are doors that you choose when and how to open. They are an act of knowing your own worth. When you say, I will not allow this behavior in my life, you are protecting your sacred space. When you say, I choose not to engage in energy that harms my spirit, you are reinforcing your inner sanctuary. Boundaries may disappoint others, but they will save you from losing yourself. You cannot be at peace and also be available to everything and everyone all the time. Your peace is also connected to the environment you create for yourself, the conversations you allow, the habits you maintain, the routines you practice, the thoughts you repeat. Peace is nourished by simplicity, by honesty, by kindness. It grows in the moments when you pause to breathe deeply, when you speak gently to yourself, when you choose understanding instead of judgment. Sometimes protecting your peace is stepping away from situations that bring chaos. Other times it is choosing compassion for yourself when your heart feels heavy. There will be days when your peace feels fragile. On those days, be gentle with yourself. Do not demand perfect calm, simply seek quiet within the noise. It might be a moment of stillness before speaking. It might be a slow breath before reacting. It might be stepping outside to feel the air, grounding yourself back into your body. Protecting your peace does not require grand actions. It requires small, intentional choices repeated consistently. The world may not always understand why you choose silence instead of argument, distance instead of involvement, calm instead of urgency. But your peace is not for them to understand. It is for you to honor. When your peace is guarded, your life feels lighter. Your sense of self becomes clearer. Your heart feels safer within your own care. The sacred space within you deserves to be treated with reverence. It is where your strength begins, where your healing expands, where your spirit rests. Responding instead of reacting is a skill that requires patience, awareness, and emotional maturity. It is choosing to pause instead of allowing immediate impulse to lead your words or actions. Many times, we react out of habit, out of fear, out of past wounds that still echo inside us. A reaction is quick, automatic, and often fueled by emotion without reflection. But to respond is intentional. It is rooted in thoughtfulness. It comes from a place of understanding rather than urgency. Learning to respond instead of reacting is not about silencing your feelings, but about becoming aware of them before letting them guide your behavior. When you react, you allow the external world to dictate your inner state. A comment, an event, a disappointment, or a misunderstanding pulls your emotions into motion. You feel anger rise, sadness form, anxiety tighten your chest. The body moves faster than the mind. But when you learn to respond, you create space. Space to breathe, space to think, space to understand what you are feeling and why. That space is where your power lies. It is the difference between being controlled by your emotions and being in conversation with them. Responding requires presence. It asks you to be aware of what is happening within you in real time. When someone says something that triggers a feeling, notice it. Not to judge it, not to suppress it, but to understand it. Ask yourself, why did this affect me? What is this emotion trying to tell me? Sometimes the reaction is not about the present moment at all, but about the echoes of old experiences that have not yet healed. When you pause, you give yourself the chance to separate the past from the present. You allow clarity to rise instead of letting confusion take over. There is strength in pausing, not silence out of avoidance, but silence out of wisdom. A moment of quiet can change everything. It can prevent words spoken in anger that cannot be taken back. It can stop decisions made in fear that lead to regret. It can protect relationships, inner peace, and self-respect. Responding is not about being slow or passive. It is about choosing the direction of your energy instead of letting the moment choose it for you. When you respond, you are grounded. You are in control of your inner world, even if the outer world feels uncertain. You do not give others power over your emotional state. You do not allow every opinion, every situation, every disappointment to shake your center. Responding is an act of emotional maturity because it shows that your peace is not negotiable. It shows that you value understanding more than winning, clarity more than reaction, inner balance more than temporary satisfaction. To respond instead of reacting is also an act of compassion toward yourself and others. People say things they do not mean. Situations unfold without warning. Expectations fall apart. Not every moment requires defense. Sometimes what is needed is patience or empathy or silence. When you respond, you choose how to show up rather than being pushed into behavior you later wish you could undo. Learning this skill takes time. You will not master it all at once. There will be days when your emotions speak loudly and you respond in ways you did not intend. This is part of the process. Growth is not about never reacting. It is about noticing when you do and understanding what led you there. Each time you pause before you respond, even for a breath, you strengthen your inner foundation. Each time you choose patience over impulse, you build trust within yourself. Each time you allow space before speaking, you reinforce your emotional resilience. Responding teaches you to move with intention. It reminds you that your energy is valuable and should not be given away carelessly. It helps you maintain your peace in situations where others may have lost theirs. It keeps your heart steady even when the moment is heavy. It allows you to show up in alignment with your values rather than in defense of your wounds. Over time, this becomes not just a practice but a way of living, one that brings emotional clarity, deeper understanding, and inner stability.